Hi, where are you?
I'm in the Virgin Lounge. My flight has been delayed from the bad weather, but I'm still here. I'm ready to talk about SSN.
And sip tea at the same time. Love it. Well, we're back, episode 3. Let's go straight into it. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Recap of round 2. Lightning, Firebirds. I was on that game. Wowee. What a close game. I loved it. I thought, you know what, Firebirds, here we go. This is a new season for you. But you know what? Good learnings. You learn from losses, you learn from wins. I think Lightning, I must also talk about them a little bit. I think there was a few little chinks in the armor that I hadn't seen before. And I was a bit like, ooh, I'm not sure they're going to sit second for you, Kels. But and there was just like a few behaviors and like body language that I hadn't witnessed. And only you can see when you're live that you're like, they've got a fair bit of work to do. I just don't think they're maybe up there just yet. Can they get there? Absolutely. But a little bit of a question mark on that one.
It's also a very short season. You got to stamp that out quickly. I don't really back in my Lightning for second pick anymore, but that's okay. We can be wrong, and I'll
Round
admit
two,
it.
things can change. Who knows? Second
Second
game was
of the 3-3 these
You did this game. Was it exactly how you probably thought it? Or do you think it'd be a little bit closer?
I think I thought it would be closer just because I know what Fever are capable of. However, I think it really stood out just how far ahead the Thunderbirds are at the moment. They are the benchmark through and through. It really is Thunderbirds to lose at this point. And I hate saying that in round 2. I really hate saying that because I want the league to be close. We had 2 1-point games this weekend, which is awesome. However, Thunderbirds are that far out in front.
Although, just to throw it in there, we have seen, say, like Swifts do that before, go literally undefeated and then go bang, bang out. It's great that they're setting the benchmark. We'd love to see the other teams join them, but that also, I agree with you, pressure can do crazy things in finals. And even last year, seeing the Vixens do what they did, you just got to be in there. But I think most of the opposition teams really need to step it up a little bit. Giants, 52, Vixens, 68. They showed their supremacy again, I think, just showing how good the Vixens are with the obviously New South Wales Vic Derby. I know that there was lots of talk about that. How good is it, Victoria versus New South Wales? But then when I tuned in, I was like, hang on, there's actually not that many Victorians and New South Wales people in these teams. So I was like, I'm not sure we can do state of origin like this. I think netball needs to just kind of like steer clear of that. It's a double header. It's 2 Melbourne teams, 2 New South Wales teams. Because, yeah, the more I looked on the court, I was like, there's actually not one person from either state at times on the court. Fifths 70, Mavs 69. I mean, another 1-point game. Unbelievable. So good to watch. But yeah, I think what we both learned was that the internationals experience really shot through when it counts in both 1-point win games. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would. I just have to say off that. So Jamie Lee Price is from Queensland playing for Melbourne against Sydney, which, yes, you're right. But I would say that across those 1-point victory games, I think all of the international experience, and you and I have spoken about this, it just stands up. They know what to do in the big moments. We've spoken a little bit about the Helen Housby breathing technique. Those are the kind of things that young players, if they haven't been in those moments, don't know yet. Helen knows herself inside and out. She wasn't near it in round 1. Round 2, she comes out, basically wins the game for the Swifts. So I do think that international experience, it really comes into play. And when I mentioned before that the Thunderbirds are so good, it takes maybe a team like a Vixens with that much experience to come into big games, big moments, and we can see maybe closer games in that regard. But I was very impressed with round 2. I'm very excited for the rest of this season. We've got so much ahead of us.
We absolutely do. Let's go into check our blinders though. Let's check in on, you had a call us where you thought Conan was going to shoot the lights out or have a redemption game. How did you see it?
Yes, well, it's obviously a blinder. And we've got to say this is an ode to our mother. She used to tell us before a game, go have a blinder, kid, or, oh, you had a blinder after it. Oh, hello to the person behind me. But let's talk about Cara Conan. I did say redemption game. I wouldn't say it was a blinder, but she had 17 goal assists, 25 feeds, 16 centre pass receives, 1 gain, and 2 turnovers, 100% 1-point time shooting, 1 of 3 super shots. I love that she's going to the post 3 times in the super shot period. She had a total of 13 points. We love to see that double-double. We've spoken about that from Goal Attack. So it definitely was a redemption game for Cara Conan. I wouldn't say it was a blinder, but I called for a redemption game. My one this week, though, is Alice Teague-Neald. I think it's ATN time. She's coming up against the Giants now. Amy Slager is a very good wing defense, but Alice Teague-Neald has been humming along. I think she plays very well at home. I think she is incredibly experienced when it comes to playing against players that are younger than her. So kudos to what Amy Slager can do, but I think it's ATN time this week. My blinder goes to Alice Teague-Neald.
Okay, well, I said that the Mavs would upset the Swift. Now, we were close there for a moment, but it didn't actually happen. So it's a fail mark for me. I'll give you a pass mark for your last week's on Cara Conan. The thing is, though, and like we just spoke about, international experience really shone when the moments mattered. And, you know, when games needed to be won, those big game plays really stood up. And this is probably where the Mavs maybe let themselves down a little bit, is the fact that Sasha McDonald, first-year player, just didn't know what to do in that moment. And yeah, you could go, you know what, there were missed opportunities previous in the game, but when it really mattered, it was like that feed across the circle. All of a sudden it went down and the Swifts knew what to do. And so it's these types of games that you learned from. And then the next time you find yourself in this situation, you got to be able to do something different. Same with the Firebirds. These are lived experiences. The more you share as a group, the better you become well equipped to handle them in the future. So hopefully those two teams are challenged again. I'd love to see it. My blinder of the week, it was a hard one, but I really couldn't go past the JLP. She's been, you know, a standout in the centre. I think she is going to be the answer to the Mavs finally ticking off the Vixens in the local derby. So JLP, I'm expecting big things from you. I'm backing in the Mavs again. Do not let me down this time, Mavs. JLP for the big one. Mavs to get their first derby win.
Maddie's on the Mavs bandwagon. I love this bold call from you. It's brilliant. Yeah, I think that segues perfectly into our team of the week because JLP was there twice.
She was. She's back to back. But let's start from the goalkeeper position. Samira Sterling-Humphrey, 6 games, 3 clean intercepts. Can't go past her. Goalkeeper, outstanding. I mean, Mother's coming back. Kudos to you. I applaud all of them playing. I think they've been exceptional coming into the league. I mean, the moment when they go out after the game and grab their little baby, I'm like, oh, that is the sweetest thing ever. I love seeing these mothers dominate. And Shamira Sterling-Humphrey, no different. Goalkeeper, chef's kiss. Love it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think the thing that I love about Shamira at the moment is that she's doing what she's doing, but she's also saying that she's building back into it. And I spoke to Tanya Obbs post game. She said the same thing. Shamira's building into it. I was like, oh my God, I'm nervous for when she's not building into it.
Yeah. If this is the foundation and this is where we're starting, who knows where the building's going.
Her one game is the amount of intercepts I've got in my entire career. So we love a build for Shamira. Jo Weston is our goal defense of the week. 5 intercepts, unbelievable scenes, 9 deflections, 9 total gains. I think she is playing out of her skin at the moment and probably has had a couple of down years, maybe. But I think at the moment, the first 2 rounds, Jo Weston's one of the best players for the Melbourne Vixens, if not their MVP at the moment.
I just want to talk about that, you know, like say down years or whatever. I reckon when you've been a player that has been at the top of your game for so long, there's a certain baseline, like your baseline goes from here to here. And so if you're not then having exceptional 10 out of 10 performances, people go, oh, it's a little bit of an off performance, off game. But she won a premiership last year. She still dominated. So wing defense of the week, Latanya Wilson, 3 intercepts, 4 gains, no turnovers, 8 centre pass received. She dominates not only in defense, but also in attack. You just can't go past her. Wing defense, we've mentioned it before, it's really hard to go, all right, who owned it? Because a lot of the wing defense's role is to dominate, as in stopping their wing attack. So the fact that she can get that much hand on ball whilst continuing to stop and having so many feeds, it speaks volumes to the type of player that she is and how versatile she is to that defensive unit.
Absolutely. Okay, JLP, just quickly on the centre position because she's back-to-back for a reason. 26 goal assists, 38 feeds, 2 intercepts, 1 turnover. And we said it last week, I think handling that much of the ball with 1 turnover, that's the most impressive thing for me. She's feeding off circle edge. She's finding a great connection with Shimona at the moment. So JLP times 2.
Georgie Horges. ×2 wing attack. She obviously was moved into, she was goal attack last week, but she's second time in. This time she's in that wing attack position.
These stats were insane.
I know. I mean, you could only dream of this. 37 goal assists, 25 centre pass receives, 49 feeds, 1 turnover. This goes back to you last week saying goalkeepers don't ever turn the ball over, because if she could get one in handling the ball this much, you never want to see a fumble from a goalkeeper. Don't ever turn it over. Like Georgie Horges, unbelievable. You know what? That type of performance, straight into the Commonwealth Games team for me. That's it. I thought she was there before, but I would be like, we don't even need to bother anymore.
And now they've got the question mark of Georgie Horges is in, right? But is she in as a wing attack? But is Georgie Horges then replacing a Sophie Dwyer, a Cara Conan? Where are they playing now? Now there's a lot of discussions around the Diamonds. I am, and I said this on air, I'm number 2 behind Kath Cox with Georgie Horges fan club. I went home, Dad and I were talking about it. Dad's like, she is a little star. And Maddie, you and I know that for our dad to say something like that, for you to get praise from our dad means that you're a superstar. So Georgie Horges, you're a favourite in our family.
She's a bop girl. Bop girl,
Bop. Big occasion player girl. That's what a bop girl is. You will learn all of the Brown acronyms across this journey, across this season. That's one of them, bop girl. Helen Housby is our goal attack. Now, she didn't have a great round 1. She does do a lot of work out the front, but I just thought this was like a Helen game. This is like what we can expect from Helen Housby when she is on. And I love when she gets that sort of like, I'm kingpin here. I'm going to win this game for my team. Yeah, like beat the chest. I'm going to put this team on my shoulders. 12 of 13, 1 point, 4 of 9 in the super shot. So wasn't that accurate, but also kept going to post and kept seizing the moment, kept saying, this is a big moment. I need to take it. 15 goal assists, 2 rebounds, 19 centre pass receives, and 20 feeds. Now, the one off that, you love this, efficiency, 15 goal assists off 20 feeds. Very great efficiency there. So Helen Housby is our goal attack.
And I just want to mention on one thing. If you look at both goal attacks for that game, it was Swifts and Mavs, Helen Housby kept going to post, kept saying, I want the ball in my hand in the big clutch moments. I'm willing to take the risk, back myself in, you back me in. And they kept supplying her. Compared to the other end, you see like a young Riley Batcheldor, when the time came for her to have to turn and go, yeah, this is my moment, she wanted to dish it off. What I would love as a feeder, I'll give it to you, Helen, because I know that if you're going to back yourself in, I'll continue to deliver it. Goal shooter, Alma Ray, 59, equaled the record again, backed it up for a second week, 3 rebounds, a super shot. Enough said. That's it. Team of the round. Well done, everyone. Love your work. Continue to do it. Who knows? We might have a 3-peater in there next week, but would love to see some new names in there. Let's go to our game changer or move of the week. I really do love this one. You've got a good one coming from that Swifts and Mavs game.
Now, JLP was our centre of the round. We know that, but I loved the insertion of Maddie Proud into that centre position for the Swifts. Now, we know the Swifts come away with a win at the end of it. I think a lot of that is down to the experience, maturity, just guts of Maddie Proud. We know that that's what she's about, but I think this is the reason that she's come back into this team. Obviously, she is there because she left last season with the maternity leave and everything like that, but she is there to provide stability, maturity, and that's exactly what she did. Jamie Lee Price was still great, but I thought Maddie Proud came in, played her role, nullified what Jamie Lee Price was able to do towards the back end and really steered the ship for the Swifts. My move of the week was Bryony Aker with Maddie Proud into the centre.
My move of the week was Helen Housby. I mean, I know there's been a bit of talk around it. Emotional regulation is something that I think players, you learn with experience, but also through being able to not only prep yourself physically, but also mentally. She's been in big game moments. Now, she knew that at that 3-quarter break when she took to court again, maybe she was getting a little bit up into the hype of the emotion of the game, how close it was. She was taking massive breaths in. I'm going to add in the footage and you can see it. And that is called, as I said, emotional regulation. It's about resetting back to a state where you are in control. You can just focus on maybe 1 or 2 things rather than being caught up in the whole hype of everything. Massive thing for players to take away. I loved seeing it. There's been so much talk on it. And Helen Housby, I mean, Sometimes I wish there was a little Helen cam and we could watch her, the way that she gets so emotional. She shows it on her face. She's not some players might, put their head down and just do that into a, towel or anything, but she just shows it. She wears it. She owns it. And I'm a massive, massive lover of what Helen Housby can bring to the netball space. And even her talk after the game, the fact that she said, I wear the last week in the last round, it wasn't good enough and I've done a lot of work. Huge, huge, huge Helen Housby move, game changer of the week. The way that you can show that, yeah, all about it. Well done, Helen.
A couple of Swifts.
Yeah, a couple of Swifties in there, which is usual for us. So we'll give it to them in the ladies in red. Big news that came out, trending netball news for the week, was the fact that Disney on Ice is at Rod Laver Arena.
Which I love Disney on Ice. Like, I'm not that... I feel bad. I love Disney on Ice. However, major issues for netball.
Major. And you know what? I think about this because obviously Visit Victoria would have bid for the grand final, which is why I think fans need to understand that states obviously put through bids and Visit Victoria actually put a bid in for 3 different grand finals. I don't know whether Netball Australia came out and told fans this, but it was always going to be in Melbourne. They had their pre-years planned. This is a state issue. It's a Commonwealth Games year. This was always part of the bid. So why wasn't this catered for or, considered? I love Disney like you. We used to go to these Disney on Ice all the time. As I said, not mad that Disney's in town, but I actually do think Netball Australia, I want you to move it. I want you to take it to a Sydney. I want you to take it to a venue. We deserve to have that extra 5,000 seat stadium. Fans deserve it.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Find out who was in the wrong, own the mistake, take responsibility, let's shift it, let's move it, and let's have a game that we deserve.
Yeah, and just coming off the Sydney, Melbourne record crowd, I think it's like the worst week that this could have happened. We've just shown that we can fill out Kudos Bank Arena. We can get the fans there. People are hungry for netball. I don't like moving it to John Cain Arena. I agree with you. I want it in a huge stadium so that netball can be celebrated on the biggest stage.
I'm pro-Victorians here. Would love for it to be in Melbourne, but 100% take it up the road. Go to Sydney. Also, the other thing just on that is why not take it there the year after, next year, Netball World Cup in Sydney. Let's have a little bit of a taste test so we can see it the following year.
I love your thought process and everything that's gone into it, and I back you in 110%. The other news of the round is Gabby Sinclair is back in for Lightning. Now, 2 rounds out with a calf issue. She comes back in. I think this is a major boost. We said at the start of this episode that now I'm questioning whether Lightning can be second. She adds so much. If she can shoot how we know that she can, I'm really excited for this inclusion. And I've been excited to see Gabby in Lightning colours alongside a Liz, in front of a Danelle, or even a Karen. It just gives them so much more flexibility there. So welcome back, Gabby Sinclair.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of the little thing that they've been missing. The fact that they could scrape through against the Firebirds, she will just give them that 2-point scoring power that they've kind of been begging for in the first 2 rounds. She's got it. That's her job. That's why she's been selected. So can't wait to see her go out there with her long socks on for those calfies and see what she can do. Round preview. It is round 3. We've got Mavs versus Vixens, Lightning versus Swifts, Firebirds versus Thunderbirds, and Fever versus Giants. Have you got a game of the round?
I do have a game of the round, and it's the one that you and I are on tomorrow. Our dad is so excited to watch this one. It is the Melbourne Derby, Mavericks and the Vixens, and you've called it already. You think the Mavs can get up in this one. I think the inclusion of JLP is huge. I think Shimona Nelson has played in this derby enough times to know how to get the win. Vixens are a very good unit, but I will say my game of this round is the Melbourne Derby.
Love it. There you are. There's our recap. Go get your flight. Do not miss it. And I'll see you tomorrow.